Hey there, Soul Shines, it's Michelle here. We changed our channel name to Live Fantastical. I'll talk about that a little more later in the video. To get started, I want to remind you guys to hook that subscribe button, hit the like button, and of course leave some yarn in the comments. Yeah. Before I talk about channel things, I wanted to show my finished objects. Sorry, I have so much going on, like all the things, all the places, but I finally, it's actually been a little bit and I just haven't done the video. I finished my overlay mosaic crochet blanket. The pattern comes from Erin of Juniper and Oaks, and she has got a lot of amazing patterns. She does a lot of corner to corner and mosaic overlay, and she almost always seems to have some kind of a make along going along, crochet along, I guess you could say, since it's crochet. I'm not sure what's, there's been a Christmas one I've been seeing and I'm like, oh, I want to make that, but then I'm like, oh, you don't want to make a blanket. Yeah. Actually, I would like to eventually make a blanket again with cotton. A couple of them, specifically for Cheyenne and I, possibly my son as well. So Cheyenne sleeps on a bed like a normal person, and she has a tent because she had a lot of trauma from a mouse being in her bed. And wasn't sleeping very well, so we got her it's like a mosquito tent kind of thing that she could put over her bed. So she sleeps in that and sleeps much better with that going on. We haven't seen the mice as much since we've got cats, so that's a win. And living, we used to have a field by us, and we live in a duplex, so it affects what we can and cannot do as far as those kind of things. But the mice definitely aren't showing up as much since we got cats. Love that. But I actually sleep on the floor like an unnormal person because I'm a weirdo. For the most part, it's actually better for me. It's better for my back and stuff. I don't love getting down on the floor. I wouldn't mind getting, like, I guess in some of the Oriental companies, some of the Oriental countries, they actually sleep on a wooden bed. Like, there's no mattress, you sleep on the wood, so you're up higher, but it's still wood. And so a part of me is like, that'd be cool to get so that I don't have to get down on the ground and up off the ground. But anyway, so I sleep in a tent, and then my son, he just decided he wanted to sleep in a tent as well. His is because he wanted more space to be able to play his VR games. So he now sleeps on the floor as well, got rid of his bed so that he has more room space. And I'm like, more power to you. He bought it, you know. But I think it would be nice to make like a cotton yarned blanket to put under each of us. So so we don't have to sleep directly on whatever the lining of the bottom of the tents are, because we have different linings depending on which tent we have. But anyway, and so I might do another one of Juniper's blankets if I get enough cotton yarn to do in cotton. We'll see. Anyway, with that, let's actually show the blanket, shall we? Where's the start? I didn't measure it. It is 57 wide and 82 long, so it's a good size blanket. Anyway, so here is the first panel that I did, and then here's the second, and here's the third, there's the fourth, the fifth, and the 6th, it's starting to read a little more purple. I must have done something to my settings. Still doesn't read as bright purple as this. These are all like the solid, no variance of color. Like you pure, here's purple, pure, here's blue, pure, here's green. Like, yeah, they're from Mainstays, the colors, and then the gray part is a big twist. Anyway, there's the blue section. There's a green section. There's a yellow section, an orange section, and the final red section. And here's kind of the back. So it has a subtle nod to the pattern, but it's a striped thing. It's very fun. Let's talk about the border, because that's the thing that I've done. Envelope borders, very fascinating. I do suggest that whoever you learn to do mosaic, overlay, crochet, however you do their starting and ending stitches when you go across the row, because when you do overlay mosaic, you start at one end, you single crochet or double crochet. There's a back loop, front loop thing, but it's singles and doubles all the way across, and you start at one end, you go all the way across, and you cut your yarn. You can leave it as fringe, or you can do this envelope border. But I would suggest following the person who teaches you how to do the end stitch, whatever method they use, because picking up stitches for the envelope border will depend on that. But you pick up stitches along, like we start on the back because that's what Erin said to do. So you pick up stitches along the back and go all the way around the blanket, and then you finish whatever you're doing for your border. So for me, the back, I did 2 rows of the gray, a row of purple, gray, and then that's where I ended for the back. I actually wish that I would have picked up stitches in the purple and then did gray, purple, gray, but it is what it is. It looks cute on the front though, so it's fine. And then when you've done that, and I still followed the back loop crochets for my single crochets, it gives it a similar look to the stripes in the back. And then on the front, I did my 2 rows of gray, and then with my purple, every other one I went down, and then I did a row of gray, and then the top row of purple connects the 2 together, so you go through both of them, and then that just hides all those little ends. Super easy, but super time consuming because you have to go all the way around the whole blanket. But I did it. I got it done. I think that this looked really cute. The border that she originally had around here for her pattern was going through all the rainbow colors again. And I don't remember, she had, hers looks a little more white than my gray. But I'm not sure if she had like color white kind of thing, or if it was just all the rainbow colors. But the person I'm giving this to, her favorite color is purple, and this panel right here is the only purple panel, so I decided I wanted to finish it in purple to give that extra little, hey, I recognize this is your favorite color. This is going to be put in my flag make along. If you don't know about that, I will link the intro video for it. Every month I do a different theme. I am still looking for my August theme partner, so if you want to be my August theme partner, please let me know. You can come on a video with me. You don't have to. If you don't have a channel, that's fine. My July person actually doesn't have a channel. She decided she wanted to give a prize. You don't have to give a prize. I will give a prize. But if you want to give a prize as well, you can. So, yeah. What else? I'm getting very warm, by the way. Got lights on me. I'm holding a warm blanket. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna link them out, but I'm gonna put this in there because A little over a year ago, my friend's husband died, and he went through the journey of, am I gay? Am I not gay? Is it okay to be gay? Is it not okay to be gay? They stayed married, but mostly they were just companions at the end, but they stayed married. But he was her best friend, and she's had a hard year. But I decided to make this for her, and since it's the rainbow, and he has had that challenge in life of trying to figure out what was what there, I have a mistake here. Oh. Anyway, I'll show you. It's supposed to be like through the back loops, and somehow that one's wrong. I went through all of them. Anyway, no big deal. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it in my pride thing. It's flag inspired, so it's pride flag, and this one actually was. I don't usually do anything along those lines, but in this case I did, so I'm gonna put it in. Hopefully I also put in my other project we'll talk about later. But anyway, yeah, I like it. It turned out really nice. I can't wait until I see my friend again. She actually just had a little surgery on Friday. She's recovering okay. She's the one who does my nails. I had to chop my nails. They are not in good shape. There's a lot of grow out. And I don't know when I'm going to get to see her again because she had her little surgery. So I just going to chop them off and deal with it. But anyway, so I'm excited to give this to her. It's so lovely and so fun. And although this geographic kind of look in this pattern is not for me, it was really fun to work on, and I really liked the look. I just wouldn't decorate with it because of personal choice, but that's okay. Other finished objects. I actually wanted to make something fun for my grandkids. I found this little pattern at the end of the month, so I didn't have time to make them for the pattern, the June make-along, which was penguins. But these little penguins, I used a bigger hook. I also switched from doing your typical yarn over crochet, and I tried the yarn under crochet on this one. So not only is it a smaller hook, but I tried a different thing, but they're so stinking cute. This one is for my grandson who just turned 5. He's starting kindergarten in the fall. And this is for my granddaughter who's going to be in 2nd grade. And so I thought I'll make them little backpack things that they can hook on. I know that Deb was collecting a bunch of these, which probably gave me the idea. I also made one for Cheyenne. I don't have it with me, but it's got the red, and so that's fun too. Anyway, cute. Can't wait to, I gotta get a package sent off to them. I bought a journal for my granddaughter, or no, my daughter-in-law. I bought her one of the penguin journals, and my son decided to take up knitting. Mostly he knits little doll clothes, so I'm gonna send him one of my knitting journals. And I think I have some, like, they're not a lot of yarn to do much with, but I think that they would work for him to make his doll clothes. But they are also acrylic, so I can't really use them here, so I thought I'll send those up to him and he can use those. So those are my finished objects. Let's move on to works in progress. First of all, if you haven't been doing it, there is the Christmas in July make along with I think it might be a crochet along, I don't know, with Chef Lori, Armchair Chef Lori. I'm not going to tell you what I'm making. I haven't even told her what I'm making. I was a little sad because I heard her mention the show. You pick like a character, movie, book, whatever. I don't know exactly the details of it, but you could pick something to be your inspiration. You make your decoration, or a project. It doesn't have to be a decoration. I'm making a decoration. That's all I'll tell you. It's gonna be ridiculously funny and cute. So I am working on that, and hopefully we'll get it finished in time. I should have Today's what, the 21st, and it should only take me a couple days to finish what I'm doing. Part of it is, it's got 2 parts, and part of it is like 90%, 95% done. So that'll be really fast and easy. The other part of it is maybe 40% done. So when I finish the main part of that, it will be like super fast and easy from then on. But I'm not telling you what it is. Haha. Other works. You know what? Let me tell you about this because it's here and I'm going to start burying it. I have a laundry basket that I try to keep all my projects in so that I can just pick what out. I have been going through stuff in my room, decluttering and just trying to clean up and organize. I just really want my room to feel like complete. I tend to get it to almost complete, and then like right now I'd be like, oh, I don't actually want to deal with that little pile, so I'll leave it. And I'm like, no, I want it to be done. So in doing that, I actually came across some things that my mom or maybe it was me, but I'm pretty sure it was my mom. My mom was making, and I've got 3 that are like the zippers in. This one's got like a little elastic. They're like so close to being done, and I just want to finish making them. And I have a friend who just had a baby, so I want to get this for her. Here's this is the front piece, so it's got the zipper in. And I don't know if you can see that shape. Then you have the back piece, and so these will sew together and they become a little sleeping sack. And then she already done the little elastic on the edge. So basically I just need to set the sleeves in and then sew up like that whole thing all the way around. And then there's this little strip to put like a binding around the neck collar. And so I want to hurry and get this done. So that's in my project basket, hoping that I will work on it. I'm probably going to end up doing it by hand because I don't trust my sewing machine. If I trusted my sewing machine, it could be done lickety-split. I enjoy hand sewing. My eyes don't always like hand sewing. Hence why I always wear these. But anyway, I want to get that done. Maybe if showing you, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to make this. Let's talk about my socks. I've been making them. He doesn't actually want as tall of socks as I wanted. So that's kind of nice because I don't have to do any shaping. I just have to work up to I started toe up. I just have to work up to the height that almost like a normal, what people typically make for socks. I tend to make short socks. He wants them to go like mid calf, right as it's starting to get big. So it's like perfect. So this is what I've got. There's the heel. I'm actually pretty close to where I need to start the ribbing and finish those. So that's where I'm at. The very last time I showed it, that's where I was at. I've checked that my thing is recording. So at least I checked that it's got audio. I'm gonna move this so I can show you how far I've come since I did this. But I'm really excited about those. I've got how high he wants them. I know that my hand is about, it's like from here to tip is like 6.5 inches, I think. And so I put it on the bottom of the heel and I go like this. And so I can tell that I'm up to about 6.5 inches from the bottom heel, which means I need to go up probably another inch before I do the little thing. So that's that. Another project I have in here, I actually am hoping to start working on. I just found in cleaning up, I found my wrap around my head magnifying glass thing. Because I had started on the little tiny micro crochet, but oh, it's so hard to see. But it started on the little tiny micro crochet frog to make the earrings for my daughter. So I have that in here. I hope this is the right size hook. It's in here, so I'm going to assume it is. So that project also lives in this bag. I casted on a sweater, t-shirt thing. Let me show you. I have 9 of these. I'm not sure where one of them is, but it's We Love Yarn. Simple cotton, 8/4 yarns, 100% cotton, 50 grams. I got this from Hobie a while back. It's a 1-weight cotton in white, and I had a package, so like a bag of it, but I took one of them out and I'm not sure which yarn it is, so I'm just going to only use the 9 and say that's how much yarn I have. But I'm almost done with this first one. And so I cast this on. That's the collar thing, so it's going to be a little bit of a, it's just like a round yoke, so it will just go like this down until I pull the thing. I don't know if it will hang lower until it gets more on, but it's kind of fun. We'll see how it goes. It is, as a 1-weight yarn, it is definitely a lot. I have over 400 stitches all the way around. So, but you do a garter stitch, then you do some little yarn over type increases. It takes 3 rounds to get through that little increase section, and it's fascinating because it's like yarn over, knit, yarn over, knit through the whole all the way around, and then it's like okay, now knit, yarn over, knit through the back loop, yarn over. So you're knitting your first yarn overs through the back loop, but you're also adding all these extra yarn overs. So the first time you increased it, doubled it, and then the second time you added 2 more stitches around. Yeah, if my math is right, I've got 400 and something, but we're working on it. It's going to be a project, but I'm excited about it. I think that the fabric is going to be quite lovely, and like I said, it's 100% cotton. We'll see when it gets done if it's I can wear it in the summer, or if it's just like a rest of the year, the other 10 months of the year. But that's in this bag. I'm excited for it. These bags are really cool. They're like a tote bag that has a zipper on the top. And I got a whole bunch from Amazon. And Cheyenne's using one for a library bag. And then I'm using this one for a project bag. And then this one is my other one that I'm using for a project bag. But this one also, I did the, sewed my penguin finished thing on there. Loved this. It's so pretty. So I actually have decided that this is my Magical Mal project bag. So whatever I'm doing for my project for the Magical Mal goes in this bag. Except for obviously the blanket, but that blanket was, oh, I wondered which bag I'd put this in. It's yarn for my Chef Lori's Christmas in July thing. Anyway, so this is what I'm making for the Magical Mal. Doing another color work thing. It is a nod to Cheyenne and I learning Old English, and it is a nod to what would have been their flag if they had flags back then. It's more of a banner, but I'm counting it. So, and I think people do put it on flags now, when they're trying to represent kind of an Old English thing. But you'll see it better when it's all done. I'm excited about it. I used Stitch Fiddle, and I was working one, and I kept having so many problems. And I was like, this isn't working, and it's like so big, and I only have, let me actually show you. The black yarn that is doing that whole outline thing. So there's the white, and there's a red, then there's this black that's doing this whole outline. This is how much black I have. So I decided to go back into Stitch Fiddle and start again making it smaller. And so now it's going faster. I feel like I'm not going to run out of black. And now it also will fit on one of these bags a lot easier. I'm hoping to take the library bag that Cheyenne's been using and put the picture on that bag. So that's the plan. And since I'm no longer actively participating in, sorry, something on the floor. Since I'm not actively participating in the Decade Divas, I'm going to show you my project now. It was a secret. It is a doll. And this is what it's got so far. It's got a head and a body. I'm still going to work on it a little bit at a time. Now that the blanket's done, maybe I'll work on it more. It depends on how many crochet projects they have, because this is crochet. I did regular stitching and not the cross, what is that called? Back loop. I definitely am guessing, based on where some things are going on this, that the original artist probably is using back loop, or not back loop, yarn under. It just depends. It's just a way that how you pick up your yarns when you go underneath. So I'm going to continue her in this, depending on her clothes, to what I'll do. Anyway, I'm excited about it. I'll tell you more about it as I get there, but yeah, she's coming along slowly but surely. Yeah. This is how I connected everything together. It's hooked onto my bag. I have one of these kind of clip things, and I stuck my hook through, and it's not going anywhere because I made sure that it wouldn't. And then that's how I'm keeping everything together. Somewhere I have another skein of this, which I need to find so I can work on that. Anyway, that's that project. For my tithing projects, I've actually been doing soap sacks. And then I need to get them given, but use cotton yarn. And this is what I've got so far. And I wanted to kind of show you what, since this was on the hook, on the thing, how this works, because it's a bag, guys. You can't see it, but it's a bag. Because what I do, and I'm not going to show you an overhead anyway, is I will go along and I'm going to knit the first stitch, which is this side of the bag. That's the stitch. And so even though the outside is purl, it's actually stitched. So I'll knit this first stitch. And then I'm going to slip the stitch that belongs to this side of the bag. And then I'm going to knit the next stitch, which is on this side of the bag. And then I'm going to slip this one, which is on this side of the bag. And you just keep doing that. So I'm knitting only the stitches that go along this bag, and then I slip all the ones on this one. And I knit and slip. And you start out with doing your cast on. That is basically, you cast on twice the length that you want it, because the cast on kind of gets pulled because you cast them all on and then you start this. And so I cast it on my, I think 1840 per side, which was like 36 or 40, 18 or 20, I don't know how many I've got across. But you cast on your double that, and then you start your knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip from the very beginning. If I wanted it to be have a knitted outside, well, first of all, I could turn it inside out at the end if I wanted to, or I could do where I bring my yarn forward. But I think then if I was wanting it to be knitted, I would probably purl and slip. It would be from the beginning, and I would have them be they would be the opposite. It would have meant that I was actually purling on or knitting on the side. I don't know. I haven't tried it. In my head, it's a thing. I'm not telling you what it is because it's not making sense to say it out loud. Anyway, yeah, you just do this knit and slip thing across. You knit and slip back. So you've got to remember when you cast on, where's your tail, or mark the beginning, mark the side that is a thing. Because of the way I cast on, this is actually the end of my round, like end. So I've knit a half a row. So I've knit one side of the bag. I've got to go back and knit the second side of the bag, and that makes it a whole thing. When I get up to the top, I don't remember how the pattern said to bind off, but I just kind of do a little bit of I usually end up having a second needle, and I do my bind off for the stitch that I need to bind off, and then I slip the second stitch onto another needle just to get it out of my way. That's how I bind it off. But I don't know. Other people might bind it off different. I also figured out how to make yarn overs by, it's very fiddly, but slipping this, like basically putting a stitch like kind of on a like doing cables. So you take the one stitch out of the way, and then you do your yarn over, and then you put the stitch back, whether you use cable knit or just leave it live and hanging. Anyway, if you're a knitter, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about, I hope. But I will leave the soap stock information down below. They have free knitting patterns. I think this pattern is there as well. And they have free crochet patterns, as well as instructions on what to do, labels to make, to put with them, and so that you give one of these soap socks and bar soap to people that are in need, like the homeless and such. And then that way they can carry it around. They could use it as a washcloth. They could use it as a bag to carry their soap. And because it's cotton, it's going to be more durable and stuff. So not durable per se, but it's just better quality, better type of yarn for that kind of project. It's washable. There, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so that's all of my I think that's, pretty sure that's all the stuff I'm actively working on. I do want to make these. We made these a long time ago. I want to teach Cheyenne how to make them because it's super easy. It's very similar to making granny squares. My aunt taught me how to make these in the very beginning. So this is one of the things I came across in cleaning that I want to teach my daughter how to make. We typically make them magnets and stick them on things. This one's not, but I want to teach her how to do that. I found this that just needs a button, and it's a thing where it's got a loop that you put the towel on. I actually want to go through with my towel topper patterns and write how to take a towel topper, and instead of doing the towel part of it, put a loop like this underneath it so that you can just make the little dress or the little hat or whatever, and then add that under so that you can change out the towel but not necessarily have to change out the thing. Also, I was making them with acrylic, but I have decided to switch to cotton. I think cotton is more kitchen friendly. It's more washable, and this one's cotton. So my new towel toppers are actually going to be made with cotton, never acrylic. And also because Cheyenne's like, I forgot that was acrylic and I took it off of the door and it made my hands burn. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm working on replacing them. So I'm going to be replacing those. So that's one of my things. Another thing is, do you guys remember this? I made this. Came across it in my decluttering. I had made this shawl. I never sewed in my ends. And so I think I just got the 2 ends. Yeah, I think it was just the top end and the bottom end. I don't see any other ends dangling. So I just need to sew in the ends, and then I have myself a little shawl, or I can pass it on to somebody. So I'm going to put that in my project basket to remind me to sew in the ends. Just get it done and out of the way. Yeah. Oh, other things. I was like, what other projects do I have? This is a piece of flannel that I'm going to cut up into little squares to make swish and swipe things. I've been like, how can I make just a quick tidy in my bathroom easier? And I was talking to ChatGPT about it. I was just like, I need help. I need to know. Like, I put it off because I don't want to go grab a rags and I don't want to do a thing. So I tried the making your own wipes with paper towels and it just didn't work. But I can either make a bunch of rags that I keep in there and a spray solution that I spray, or I could make a few rags, make like a tiny batch of solution or a batch of solution and have it in a jar and put these in the jar so that they're just in there and pull them out and stuff. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to cut these up into squares and make little reusable bathroom wipes, because I think that's what I need to do in order to get it. And then my other sewing project that I will pull out and do after I finish the little baby thing. Where's these ones? This blue fabric. This one, this side is cut into skirt panels because my daughter that plays the guitar, Amy, that she was on here a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago for my life. She plays the guitar and sings and stuff. We're making her a circle skirt, but we just keep putting it off. So I have it out as a reminder, you gotta do this. And then the last thing I'm going to show you as far as projects go, and then we'll talk about what's happening with the channel, is this sweater we got from Walmart. It is my daughter's, but it's Cheyenne's, and this is, where's the tag that says it's thing? This is, oh, I don't know why she's having a problem with it. It's 100% polyester. She shouldn't have a problem with it. I will take it to her and say, hey, what's the deal? This is polyester. But she wants me to actually figure out how to make this, which is part of why I'm showing it to you. We know that she likes this kind of sleeve, like a bishop sleeve. That's easy. Oh, maybe that's why she brought it, so she needs that hole fixed up. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But this is easy because it's basically, you don't do any decreasings. You just do your straight tube down the way. Oh, they actually have an increase right here. And an increase right there. There's a couple of increases on this. So I might do that. And then you just do your tight thing. So that's not a problem. This edge, I think what they do is knit it and then cut it. I don't know if they tie I think they tie these ends together. So that wouldn't be a problem to just basically knit it all, cut it all, tie the ends. The thing I don't know how to do, and if anybody knows how to do it, or a pattern of how to do it, or a tutorial of how to do it, whatever, is how these pattern things go. Because all I can figure is that, because I'm pretty sure this was knit bottom up, but I don't think that matters as much. But all I can figure is that you kind of knit a short row section here, and then when you're doing your next section, you like pick up along the way, along the edge of that short row section to get that, and then you, I don't know. And then you have another section. I'm like, how did they just like do a section and bind it off and then do the next section and bind it off? I don't know. If somebody knows how to get that pattern, can you please let me know? I'm going to put this in my basket to talk to Cheyenne about it and say, hey, this is polyester. What are we doing here? She can wear polyester. I can't. It might just be that it's too hot. But I do want to figure out how to make it for her. We know that she likes crop tops. She loves that bottom edge, and she likes the bishop sleeves, but we also, and she likes like that rounded V-neck that has. But really, we want to figure out how to make that pattern. So if you know how, let me know. Okay, now let's talk about the channel. And we have changed the name. When Cheyenne started doing lives with me, at first it was just to say, hey, we've got this journal that we're doing, and it was kind of supposed to be like a one-time visit with me on my live thing. And then we just decided that that was like really fun and the thing we were going to do. We named our business Live Fantastical. And I've kind of considered the YouTube channel as a part of that business once it became a business, because we talk about our books on here and things like that. And so I talked to her about it, and I was like, I just really kind of want to do this. And she says, I've actually felt like it was coming and that needed to happen. So we named the channel, and now it's our channel. So it is both Michele and Cheyenne's now. To tag us, you just have to do at Live Fantastical, but it does say Michele and Cheyenne's Live Fantastical or something like that. I can't remember exactly. So Live Fantastical is also our website, livefantastical.com, where we are selling our books, and as we get other products and other things, we're going to sell those. I might actually be putting a little section to sell some of my acrylic yarn. We'll see. I'll let you know if that happens. So, I enjoy doing creative expressions, but it also feels like a lot of pressure sometimes. And so I think that this podcast will get kind of spread out. Not happen as frequently. In case you haven't noticed, they haven't been happening as frequently. Life is lifing, you know. So I want to do these kind of more spread out. But also we have, Cheyenne has an idea of a podcast or a video or segment that she'll be doing, and probably once a month, because it seems like a lot of spoons. I was just thinking about it this morning, and I was thinking if we have like 4 basic segments, then we have one a week. And like creative expressions, and then maybe Cheyenne's thing, and then my other thing I'll tell you about in a second, and then like our book talk, or where we actually officially talk about what we're doing journals. We'll still do our Magical Mal videos whenever they need to be done. So like this week, I think like sometime this week I need to record the August one. But like I said, I don't have a partner, so I actually probably will reach out to somebody because I really would like to have a collaborator of some kind for the Magical Mail. Don't have to have a channel. You don't have to give a prize. If all you want to do is be like, hey, I just want to pick the theme for you. That works. That totally works. I think that would be fun. If you have a channel, you don't have to come on the lives with me, or you don't have to do a video with me. If you have a channel, just promote it and pick the theme, and I will promote your channel, you promote mine, that kind of thing. So just however you want to work it. If you are interested, please email me. September, I need the August one right now. September, October, November, December, next year, whatever. And then I'm going to pause and come back to tell you about my other thing. The other thing I wanted to tell you about takes a little bit longer to tell you about because it's kind of got a backstory. I have been doing a lot of healing work on myself. I do like light worker kind of stuff, energy work. And a few weeks ago, I cleared one of the deepest fears of my life, and that is that I don't exist, or that I'll stop existing, or things like that. And it seems so weird, but it was such a deep and big thing. And I don't even know how to explain how my body just felt more full. Like there was this emptiness in me that was just filled up because I exist. And it's been very fascinating, just that difference. I exist. Yay, Michele exists. And it sounds funny that for 52 years I didn't believe I existed, but I believe it now. After that came this like insane need to apologize for existing. So I worked on that, and that's been huge. But I've had these other things come up, and like I'm a nobody and all these like all kinds of weird things about existing. So I was clearing all of those and just really kind of in this identity space, like who am I, and like what is my actual identity, which was very interesting because as I was pondering all this kind of stuff, I came across this Christian guy who that's what he teaches about. That's his thing, is identity. Who's your identity with Christ and that kind of thing. And so I spent time with that, and I spent time with what is my greatest fear. And my greatest fear was basically being cast out by God. But in this identity thing, I had a conversation with God a couple nights ago that has just completely shifted how I feel about life. And it started out with, I will not execute you or excommunicate you. I will not kick you out. And they can't kick you out of my kingdom. Like, it doesn't matter what the people say. They cannot kick you out. Which means that if I do some things, because doing energy work, that is a kind of weird thing for a lot of people. A lot of people are like, that's just weird, I don't get it. But also, in my religious background, that's a very iffy thing. It depends on your particular congregation, to how they feel about it, how they interpret church policies and all these things. And it's been a very scary thing for me. It's a historically thing where, I have ancestors that were burned at the stake. I have for being witches, and even back before they came to America, there was some of that kind of stuff where I have ancestors that were executed for witchcraft. So there's that kind of thing. There's the shunning thing. which I definitely had ancestors that got shunned for different things. So this whole shunning, casting out, being killed for what you do and believe, that's like rampant in my genealogy. And so to have this belief that I would get cast out or I would get killed for what I do or how I believe, it's been a very ingrained in me thing. Sorry. So when he told me, I won't kick you out, they cannot kick you out of my kingdom, it changes everything for me. It means that I can talk about who I am more openly, because it's like, if you reject me, that's fine, that's you. That's not God. God's not rejecting me. And what I do and my relationship with God is between me and God. That has been, like, I woke up yesterday at peace, actually wanting to go to church, which I haven't done for a long time. And I realized, looking back on it, why. Because there was all this tension of, like, if you actually knew everything I do in my life, you would kick me out. But God knows everything I do in my life, and God doesn't kick me out. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. But I woke up with peace yesterday. It was a great day. I woke up with peace today. It's a great day. So I'm really excited about it. That was a huge one. And he spoke directly to me about it. And he was like, let's get this out of the way before we even talk about your identity. So we talked about my identity, and we talked about what I wanted to do. Like, we talked about my childhood. What did I want to be as a child? I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be a homemaker. What did I do? How did I play? I always played house. I always played dolls. I loved it. As my last couple of years of high school, I took it upon myself to clean up the house and get the house in order so that I could have friends over. And when I look back, it's one of the most fulfilling things that I've done in my life. Later on, it was just my son and me, my oldest son. And I had a routine that kept my house in order and everything cleaned up. And when I look back on it, it's one of the most fulfilling parts of my life. And I realized that's just who I am and what I want to do. It's not right for everybody, but it's who I am and what I want to do. I am a homemaker. God calls me a lot of things. My identity to him is not gentle homemaker. There's so many things he's told me. He's like, I refer to you as this, and I refer to you as that, and I refer to you as this, but this is what will make you the most fulfilled. This is what I'm calling you to, is to be a gentle homemaker. But that gentle homemaker is not just about my own home. It's kind of the thing when Cheyenne's friends like to come over to our house, and they like me, and one of the reasons they like is because they feel at home when they come to my house. They feel welcome. And when I've worked with clients in the healing world, guiding energy work and stuff, that's one of the things. You feel like a safe place. You make it easy. There's that sense of I want people to feel that sense of home everywhere, and it's an unconscious thing. It's just something that is, but I'm aware of it now that I think about it. I'm like, yeah, I actually do that in my life. I didn't know that's what it was called, but so that's part of it. So one of the segments I am bringing into the channel, I've talked about Cheyenne, and she's like, yeah, I want you to do it. It seems right. It feels right. Is kind of a podcast talking about me as a gentle homemaker, how that plays out in my home, what that is. It's kind of that aspect, which brings me to our Discord. We have a Discord server. We just revamped it, renamed it. It is now called The Fantastical, and Cheyenne's now an owner, and we are there's still some things that's still kind of branded, just like my channel is branded with my little face. It's branded with my little yarny thing, so we gotta change that. I don't know how Cheyenne's coming on the logo, or if we're just gonna put a picture of the two of us. But that's kind of where we're at. We're like, that's the last thing. Not the last thing, but that's a major thing. But we have a section where we can talk about books, what you're reading, what you're writing. We have a thing where we talk about what's our journals and what's coming out as far as that goes. And we have a section for being that gentle homemaker, or any kind of homemaker, decluttering, organizing, all of that stuff. And it's got a metaphysical take on it. It's got a light worker take on it, because there's this idea out there. I love this idea. I love that it adds so much peace to so many people. It's the clutterbug thing. I'm a visual organizer. I'm a hidden organizer. I'm a large categories. I'm small categories, that kind of thing. And I think that's amazing and wonderful. However, some of those things are just trauma-based. And let's clear up the trauma and you'll find a different response. I don't think it's the case for everybody, but if you're called to clear that, I would love to help you. I had a person, she was frustrated. She's like, I just can't seem to ever close my drawers. I leave them all open everywhere I go. And I was like, let's see if we can clear that up. And I'm like, it may clear up and you may find yourself closing drawers, or you're just going to be at peace about it and find alternative solutions to how you do it, and it's going to be peaceful. But either way, I want you to be at peace about this subject, because it's obviously bothering you that you're not closing the drawers. So we cleared the energy, and she's recently said to me, I think about you every time I close a drawer. And I laugh. She started closing the drawers after we cleared up the trauma that was causing her to leave her drawers open. And that's one of the things that I am doing on my part of the Discord, my part of Live Fantastical. Not all of my part, obviously, but we have this little area of our business and of our Discord that is about helping people declutter physically and emotionally, mentally, all the declutter, and creating the systems and routines to have the kind of home you want to have. So that's one of the sections, because that's one of my things that I feel called to do. Cheyenne is a storyteller. She wants to tell stories through her art. She wants to tell stories through words. And so we have definitely that. She is a time traveler. We're calling her the Wayfarer. And she travels through time. She travels through stories. She travels through imagination. She is a traveler, and she wants to bring that travel aspect to our business. So I'm the home, she's the traveler, and it's amazing. And so we have that going. So we are probably going to be instituting a new podcast, and like Chef Lori has the playlist. She's like, if you come here and you're only interested in my postal tips, I have a postal playlist. If you're only interested in crochet, I have a crochet. If you're interested in my food tasting, I have a food tasting. So like Chef does that, we are going to have kind of that kind of thing here as well. Anyway, with all of that and the craziness that comes with, I hope you join us on our lives. Our lives are on currently, and probably always, I don't know, we'll see, 7:30 Mountain Time on Monday nights. I know that is not ideal for everybody. I know that it's really late for some of you. For some of our people, it's early in the morning. And that's fine. If you can come, we would love to have you. If you want to watch the replays, that's fine too. But 7:30 on Monday nights is what works for us and our current lifestyle. So that's where they're at. Anyway, so with all of that, remember, let your light shine through your creations. We love you guys, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!